The town of Nain was filled with the sound of crying. A widow walked slowly behind the body of her only son, her last family, her last hope. Life had been taken from her too many times. Then Jesus approached. He saw her tears, and his heart broke for her. He touched the bier the body lay upon, and everything fell silent. The mourners stared, breath held, fear and hope battling inside them. "Young man," Jesus said, voice firm as sunrise, "arise." Suddenly breath where there had been none. Eyes blinked open. The widow's son sat up alive. Jesus placed him back into his mother's arms, and joy rose like morning after a long, dark night. Death had been forced to retreat. A desperate father pushed through the crowd. His name was Jairus, and his little girl lay dying. "Come," he begged. "Lay your hand on her, and she will live." On the way, the news arrived like a blade. "She's gone. Don't bother the teacher anymore." But Jesus looked at Jairus with steady eyes. "Do not fear, only believe." Inside the house, mourners wept. Jesus entered the room where the child lay. He took her hand cold, still, silent, and spoke gently, "Little girl, arise." Warmth returned. Her eyes opened. She stood like someone waking from sleep. Jesus smiled and told them to get her something to eat, like it was the most ordinary thing in the world. Because to him, restoring life was never impossible. 4 days. That's how long Lazarus had been in the tomb. Mary and Martha wept. "Lord, if you had been here, our brother would not have died." Jesus wept too because love feels pain. Then he walked to the tomb. The stone covered the entrance like a final verdict. But Jesus spoke like a king issuing a command. "Roll away the stone." The crowd questioned. Martha trembled, but they obeyed. Jesus prayed, lifted his voice, and called out, "Lazarus, come forth." And from the darkness, a figure stepped out alive, wrapped in grave clothes. Jesus smiled and said, "Unbind him. Let him go." Death had no answer. The grave had no argument. The impossible had bowed to the one who holds life in his hands. Where people saw endings, Jesus saw beginnings. Where others saw graves, Jesus saw doors. Where death tried to speak, Jesus spoke louder. Because Jesus doesn't just restore breath, he restores hope, family, purpose, identity, and future. With Jesus, no loss is beyond his comfort, no hurt is beyond his healing, no ending is beyond his resurrection power.